Three.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, my beautiful Darcy. How are you?
Good morning, Jemima. Good morning.
Welcome, everyone, to Awakened Positive Power, where Darcy Marta, beautiful Darcy Marta, and myself, Jemima Godsall, are
Jemima.
here to chat to you about mental health and suicide prevention. As I say every week, heavy topics, but this is a platform where we're trying to normalize the conversation around these topics. Everyone has a bad day, and society seems to have put us into a category where it's shame is put on big emotions or small emotions or just negative emotions, I should say. And we're just trying to break that stigma and know that we are not alone. Like, you are not alone. There's always someone out there who has a tale to tell, or a parallel, or an emotional reaction exactly the same, in a way, not exactly, obviously, pretty much the same as yours, mine, or Darcy's. And we hope to just be the platform to be able to share in conversations which are challenging, but also very much enlightening from our own experience and from our own professional and personal experience. And then also have guests on from their own experience with their stories of, I like to say, trauma to triumph.
Nice.
On that note, Das, firstly, how are you doing?
Well, I'm interesting right now because I do have a lot of big feelings going on. When I turned 60, I decided I was going to straighten my teeth because they say in Japan that when you turn 60, you enter your second childhood. So I'm in my second childhood. Woohoo! So I'm straightening my teeth because I should have done it in my first childhood. So I might as well do it in my second childhood. Oh, yay! But it's definitely a process. So I am speaking very clearly because I've got these big things on my teeth.
Right,
Um,
yeah.
I'm also experiencing emptiness syndrome for the second time. So my son went away to college and then the pandemic hit and he came back. And we had quite a trauma of our own dealing with the pandemic, moving, selling our home due to everything shutting down, being in my husband being in the hospitality industry, restaurant, and myself with the preschool and my personal business, where I was seeing people in an office when I was a nightmare. So anyway, he was home trying to deal with classes online. And anyway, now the dust is settled. We moved in. We are renting. That's when I decided, well, let's straighten my teeth right now because let's see if I can
Yes.
straighten out the way I speak and the way I'm presented. And then he's back
And
in
do something
college.
for yourself, Miss Darcy.
Exactly, something for myself. So he's back in college. And so now I'm going, now I'm making too much dinner. I have too much food. So I'm happy to feed my neighbors, but I don't know them because I'm renting.
I'll
I
come
can't
around. That's a good
feed the
excuse for me to come around. I'll
dogs.
eat.
So I got to make room in the freezer for everything I cook because I'm always going to cook a little too much.
Bless you. Well, some big things, big reality things going on with you, especially like having to go through the emptiness syndrome twice, sort of thing.
Yeah.
What an experience, and to be unexpectedly with COVID, have that sort of second round with your son. I mean, the transition, you prepare for this beautiful letting go of him, and vice versa, and then he comes back, and then the shock horror of that, or the beauty, or whatever emotions make. I didn't mean to say shock horror, but,
It was, it
but you
was,
know what
it was hugely disappointing for him and so many students. Hugely disappointing. He just finally gotten his groove at college. He was just really finding his stride and dealing, and then suddenly everything stopped. But not only that, moving is very traumatic for him because we've moved so many times in our life. So he had to move back into our house, and then we had to move our house. And it was just this it was really kind of traumatic. And so then all my perspective went to take care of him. And he's doing so much better now. He's back at school, and I'm really proud of him. And then, oh, now I got to go through empty nest syndrome again. I was doing really well with it. I had my big sadness when he first left. I was like, just me and the dogs. My husband's at work all the time, or I'm at work during the day. No one's here. I'm like, "Ooh." and the dogs. But I always had something to do, something busy. So I'm just really taking time for myself. I'm not rushing. I'm not trying to achieve anything right now. I'm just letting myself be in my space. Just be here.
Going with the flow, Darcy.
Yeah, I'm meditating a little more. I'm writing. I'm just really reaching out to different people I haven't seen in 20 years, that kind of thing. And I'm just kind of letting my engine start slowly. I'm warming it up.
Beautiful.
As opposed to, putting all these expectations on myself.
Wow, what a new trip for you, eh?
Yeah, it's like, oh wait, didn't I already do this? Okay, let's revisit it. Yeah. So we're revisiting it. Maybe I'm a little bit smarter, wiser, kinder, more compassionate, have more equanimity this time than last time, So there you go.
Excellent.
Yeah.
We deserve it, yeah.
Yeah.
So Darcy, today I'm going to bring on a guest that I met in my plant medicine ceremony last weekend.
Wonderful.
Just to let you guys know, within plant ceremonies, the journey is quite intense. It's not exactly a pretty journey. So these people that you go with, you tend to be what their fellow warriors. Even before you even know them, you walk in a room and you go, "Hello, warrior friend." And you sort of automatically have this. I just got goosebumps. You have this sort of automatic connection. I'm just explaining this, guys, to sort of as to why we've got Jason coming on. His name is Jason. I won't say his last name because I'm not sure if I haven't asked him yet. So maybe he's okay with that. But anyway, Jason. And he's my age, which is 47, and he's got, I like to say, as I said before in the introduction, the story of trauma to triumph. Now that can be, guys, a tiny little, what one considers to be a small thing, but the evolution that comes out of it is profound, or a big, obviously a big extreme situation, which just, the reason I'm doing this, and the reason Darcy is involved with this and we're doing this together, is because we want to, as I keep saying, normalize the conversation around depression, mental health awareness, and suicide. But it's that everyone has a story, and these people who come on as guests don't have a name, don't have anything to give, like to show off per se, or anything. They're literally coming on in the hopes that their tale may help somebody out there, may have, so might be some connection with somebody, maybe everybody, doesn't matter, just something that can, their words and their experience from trauma to triumph, being a survivor, can inspire, can uplift, can bring that light into that darkness if someone may be in it, or even remind people who are out of it that strength that they have within, to have been through their own experience and survived. We're all survivors. We're all freaking survivors in this world. We've all been, you hear other people's tales and you get so humbled by them. Like you go, "Oh my God, how the hell would I have that?" And then somebody hears your story and they're like, "How the hell would you survive that?" So it's kind of funny how we all underestimate our own journey as, okay, just because we have to survive. Like you just get through it. You just got to do it. But we forget to take the moment to just sit in awe of ourselves. I believe we should sometimes just sit in awe of our AWE, of ourselves, and really be humbled by our own journey, and the strength we take to get through our own trauma to triumph is profound, people. It is profound. It's beautiful.
And thank you so much, Jemima, for saying that. We're so focused on celebrities and their lives and their journeys and their ups and downs and their, triumphs and successes and all this kind of stuff. And, we get really focused on celebrities and that they're having a life. And, each individual has an amazing journey, an amazing story. And to really just bring on somebody that you met who is not a celebrity, who is, a person that lives next door to somebody, they have a huge story. We all do. And it's just really wonderful that we are sharing and that these people are willing to share their difficulties.
Yeah. And it's not for a reason of pride or anything. It's literally a selfless. Yeah, exactly. No, what's that? It's literally because they feel going part of saying, firstly, I never want this to be a stressful situation. If it stresses you out, don't do it. Like, no. But that your words could help somebody. Like your story, your tale could inspire that one person who feels like they're at a loss today. And
Right.
that just, and then to jump on board, they don't know me, Darcy, especially, you know, like it's bizarre. They jump on board with these strangers and tell their rawest emotions, rawest in life, or most impactful, and how they've gotten through it for
Yeah.
the sake
Yeah.
of helping each other. So
Exactly. You know,
precious.
I'm sitting here talking about my emptiness syndrome, and maybe somebody out there is also going through theirs. And to say, you know, yeah, I'm coping, and it's hard. It's hard to spend 20 years or even 30 years with kids, you know, depending on how many children you have. And that was your identity, being a mom with those 20 years, and the sacrifices that you made as a woman and as an individual person to raise those children, and then they're gone. You know, it's a big thing that we kind of joke about, you know, oh yeah, emptiness syndrome, oh, the kids are gone, woohoo, now you're gonna party. But it's also a very big emotional, yeah, it's like, yeah, call the friends over, have a wine party, and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But it's also a very big emotional pull on the heartstrings.
Oh gosh, I can only imagine. I mean, I don't know the situation, but you know, I can imagine from the child's end being from my family. But yeah, I don't. It's just such a shift, and you get back to you who yourself, like who
And
am
who,
I again? Like you go, oh my god, I haven't known myself for 18, 20 years because that's a child, you know.
right.
But damn, like what a
Yeah,
what a
for
way to
20
either
years,
take
I
the
went
world
off
down.
this way, this way, this way, and now I got to come back to who I am as well.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so it's a, you know, it's a big shift. And so yeah, just having, you know, us share these things as regular people,
Yeah,
it's brilliant, Jemima. I think it's really moving. And thank you
thank you.
to bring on your friend here. I'm looking forward to having him come in. Your
Yeah, he's
internet is
right
really
here.
sketchy today.
Mine is? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry guys. Yeah. I'm going to maybe put myself on when he talks, put myself on the screen
You
just
need
so
to
it doesn't.
video. You need to cover your. Okay, go.
Yeah, I'm going to do this during the talk, guys. I'm going to come on when he comes on just because I want to see his face. But I'm going to do this, and
Okay.
then I'll be here. I think through the videoing though, you don't actually, you think I'm off. There's not even my screen is on the screen, so I will be present, but you must be the energy surrounding you guys. Okay, so I'm going to let him in. I'm going to set myself too. Okay, here we go. Dun, 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 here he comes, here he comes. Like, where's he gone? Hello, there we are. Hey, Jason.
Hi, Jason.
He's coming. It's coming. God
Yeah,
love technology.
God love
Are you
technology.
there, my love?
Try to unmute yourself, Jason. Can you unmute him?
He's unmuted. He's unmuted.
He is. Okay.
Yeah. Are you
Oh,
there, Jace? Let me turn my video screen off. Hang on, how about that?
I don't know if we've got him. So
Hang on. Yep. Sorry, guys. We're just going to be.
maybe we can pause the recording until we get Jason in.
That's a good idea, Das. Okay, we're going to bye-bye. Hey, guys, we're back. Yay, a little bit of technical issue, of course, but we didn't want you to hang in there. So we're back here with beautiful Jason Coover. Welcome, 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 my love. Thank you so much for coming here today to talk to us, to Darcy and myself, and also everybody out there in regards to what I call trauma to triumph there. So, I mean, just go off the cuff, Jace. Why are you here? Like, talk to us. Talk to us your story, my love. Thank you for being here.
I guess I'm lucky to be here at all. Yeah, I mean, I guess, you know, I've struggled with sort of existential depression my whole life, and it's taken me down a lot of strange paths and almost taken my life multiple times, and almost taken my freedom multiple times. So yeah, I'm grateful to have made it through all that and to be here at all.
Wow. Yeah, you're really blessed, right? Really blessed.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
what's been one of the main things do you think that's helped you come to where you are today, which is just a beautiful, strong spirit, Jason, I have to say. So nice work.
I guess really, you know, all the experiences were part of it, like all of the hard experiences and all of the, you know, drama and trauma, and it just has taken everything it's taken. for me to get to the point that I'm at. The depression ended up leading me into a pretty severe heroin addiction. And I struggled with that for a long time, for almost 2 decades on and off. And now I've been off heroin for about 12 years completely.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I still struggle with some of the depression stuff here and there, up until about 4 years ago when I encountered plant medicines that really helped me kind of come to terms with some of that stuff.
Could you mind elaborating on that a little bit in terms of plant medicines? What's that mean to you, and how would you tell someone who doesn't know about plant medicine about what it's done for you or how it's influenced you?
Yeah, because I don't know much about it, actually.
So like around 4 years ago, I was going through a pretty dark place. I was feeling really depressed, really suicidal. And my depression has always been, like I call it existential depression, because it wasn't necessarily because of anything specific happening in my life. It was more just a matter of me being super sensitive to the suffering of the world, and, like kind of searching for meaning and not finding it in a lot of ways, even though I had a lot of good things in my life at that point, family and children. But at that time, my mom had been struggling with leukemia for 6 years, and she ended up passing from that. And it kind of sent me into a little bit of a tailspin. I didn't really realize that was part of it at the time. I just, couldn't really, it was getting pretty bad. I was having trouble doing anything. I was under lots of stress and work in my life, and just wasn't really feeling like my life was worth very much.
Right.
Or that the world had any hope,
Yeah.
And a friend of mine recommended that I try ayahuasca. And so he put me in touch with a woman who's become my teacher. And do you want me to explain what ayahuasca is, or?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
You can give us just a brief description of it. I mean, I know it's like a distillation of a plant, but I don't really I don't know much about it at all.
So it's actually a combination of 2 plants. It's the ayahuasca vine and the chacruna leaf, and they make a tea. It's a South American medicine. People in the Amazon have been using it for probably thousands and thousands of years. And so I guess the main psychoactive chemical in it is DMT, which comes from the chacruna leaf. But the ayahuasca vine itself is an MAOI. And so the combination of those 2 things is what allows for the longer experiences. So, and what that's, I mean, I can't even tell you how much it's changed things for me.
Great.
Yeah.
I agree with that, Jason. I know that we were talking the other day about how it saved our life, and part of saving our life, getting out of that, given an opportunity to have thoughts way beyond what you think is possible in this dimension. I may sound a little wacky, people, but I'm not. It's like there's so much beyond us, and the deep pain sometimes is so hard to understand, that when you have an enlightenment of where that pain might come from, or how gifted you are to feel so deeply, it's a profound shift. Like you can come back into this world with a lot more empathy for yourself as well as others, and that helps so much with the empathic depression and self-depression. That's what I think.
Yeah, and like all the metaphysical stuff aside, like what the medicine has done for me is it's taken me, the first thing it really did is it took me really to the core of all of my emotional trauma. And just really just exposed that to me in a state of mind where you're really not able to deceive yourself on any level. Like those things are just right there in front of you, and it really just connects you to like your feelings and the way that you respond to your feelings and how that affects your behaviors and your relationships. And that was kind of the first thing it did, is it just kind of took me on like a tour, and it actually took a couple of years of pretty regular practice with it to really get to the core of those things.
Mhm.
And really go through them. And so sometimes, you know, it's a lot of work. It's not a recreational thing at all, even though there are moments of real beauty, and you know, there are beautiful visions, but there's also just a lot of fear and a lot of difficulty. And it's really just a matter of, you know, being in touch with those things and learning to sit with them and incorporate them instead of avoiding them.
Mhm.
And then I think the next thing it really did is it started making me feel connected, you know,
Mhm.
connected to the universe. Like, you know, these days it's really a lot about connecting to the earth and connecting to the life force of the earth, like the creatures, the plants, the animals, you know, and like the rocks and the sky and the sun and the stars, and feeling like I'm part of the universe. And I think that a lot of the problem for me was that in our culture we don't see ourselves as part of
Right.
the world. We see ourselves as separate from the world, and the world is a resource that we utilize to accomplish these things that we think we want. And so a big thing that it's taught me is that that's not the case at all, that everything is interconnected and interrelated. And so, you know, that's a really good feeling sometimes.
Yeah.
But there's also, I mean, there's still some scary things that I haven't resolved, you know, because all the suffering and darkness and evil and selfishness, those things still exist too, you know, and they're within us too. And so it's really, what it does for me is it helps me kind of connect to like those dark parts of myself and learn to accept them and understand what they are and where they come from within me. But then there's like the bigger question. I don't know where this stuff comes from on like a cosmic level, but there's brokenness and sadness in the universe still. And so I think in our culture also that we've been conditioned to think that we're never supposed to feel bad. We're not supposed to be sad. We're not supposed to suffer. We're not supposed to struggle. And if you're going through any of those things, there's something wrong with you. And I think that the traditional approach to treating that is, okay, we're going to give you like a medication that's going to like eliminate those feelings so that you can be a productive member of society. And really that's never worked for me. It never was enough to, like, it was just, you know, it just felt like it was conditioning to make me a productive worker and not like a fulfilled human being. And so, yeah, just learning to understand that sometimes we have to feel bad. Sometimes we have to accept the darkness. Sometimes you're going to be lonely. Sometimes you're going to be sad. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with you if you're sensitive and you feel these things acutely. You know, it's actually a gift, is the way I see it now, because it really is like the thing that it's the doorway to compassion for me. Like my own struggles and my own suffering are what opened me up to the struggles and suffering of other beings and creatures and people. And so, you know, it's really intense because now it's kind of like my heart's wide open, you know. And so like it's like all this stuff just comes pouring in, but instead of resisting it and feeling like there's something wrong with me, I realize now that that's just part of the nature of reality. And you know, so I'm willing to sit with those feelings now. I'm getting better and better at it. I still try to avoid them and run from them sometimes, but I'm getting better at it.
I'm just so impressed listening to you talk. I really am. I mean, these kinds of revelations just take years, and you know, you're working against all the, you know, your, you know, conditioning and societal conditioning and etc. And to decide for yourself. This is the big thing, that you decided that you were going to make a change. And that is the biggest thing of all, is that somewhere in your subconscious it said, no, there's more. And you really have decided to move forward with that. And so congratulations to you to listen to that part of you, to listen to that voice. It takes enormous strength. It really does.
Well, I kind of feel like I didn't do anything to deserve it, kind of. I just feel really lucky, because things aligned for me in a certain way, and I see a lot of people that don't have the opportunities that I've had.
Right.
And they're still struggling. And I don't know why I got them. And I don't know why I was in a place where I was able to like run with them too,
Right.
because sometimes there's like a lot of resistance to going through these
Can I
things.
say, Jason, with that, you don't know why, from an external perspective, could you see that you may have been gifted this opportunity because you are a light worker, or however you want to put a label on it, a gift to other people with your story to tell of survival, and your gentle nature and humbleness surrounding these lessons that you've got, is huge for people. It's easy to listen to your story, and that inspires people, because a lot of people don't understand and get scared, whereas I still feel your fear, or you're holding your hand with your fear, and that's something that is so precious to be able to hear and witness and be part of. So I think, am I allowed, would you take that it might be a gift that you're given? You don't know why you're here, because maybe you're one of those beautiful people who are gifted this opportunity to enlighten people along their way,
No, it really does feel like a gift.
Yeah.
It does feel like a gift to have these opportunities. And I think that, I kind of have a pretty specific job in the community that I'm part of, in the medicine community, because I think a lot of people don't have the same kind of experiences that I've had, but the ones that do, need someone like me around.
Yes.
Who's been through, because a lot of people, their experience with medicine is all light and happy and joyous. And I hear them talk about it over and over again. That sounds amazing, but I feel like my specific job is really to go into that darkest center spot and stand there and become like a conduit, to bring light into it. And I was talking to someone last night that's very important to me, and we were talking along these same lines. And I feel like the filament in a light bulb,
Yeah.
like energy flows through it, and I burn and give off the light. You know what I mean? And
beautiful analogy.
That's a
yeah,
great.
and it's not always.
Yeah. No. Right. It can't always.
But I'm really grateful that.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's nothing better than when someone's struggling and somebody's just gone through a bunch of darkness, and I can connect with them, and you know what I mean, and let them know that that they're not the only one that goes there. And that, you see, the thing is, it's not like I can tell them, oh yeah, there's this solution and everything's going to be all happy, but I can help people learn to sit with it and be present with those feelings, and and then learn to incorporate it. And that's what it is it's not, there's never really maybe there is, but I don't know if there's the answer that I'm looking for. I don't know if it exists.
I think that you
journey
kind of found it. You've found it. And I think that, for me personally, as I listen to you, and this is just my own perspective, is that this is what it means to be human. We are spirits in a human body. And so we have our physical wants, needs, and desires, our animal selves. And then we have our spiritual selves, which is, our higher connections. But then we have our human self, which is our emotional self. And we have to learn how to integrate these things. And some of us are just really highly sensitive people. And society is not highly sensitive. It's not, our expectations is a one size fits all society. And we have people like you and Jemima, myself, who are highly sensitive people. And we have to learn how to integrate, our different parts of our consciousness and our subconscious. And feelings are absolutely what makes us human. And to embrace the difficult ones is to really understand the power of those feelings. And I always say, anger is not bad. It's what you do with it. Anger is the motivator. Anger is what gets things accomplished. Oh my gosh, I don't like this. I have to change this. I have to push my way out of this. Anger is a great motivator to a certain point, right? Sadness is, like you just said, it's your window to compassion. with our sadness, we can feel the sadness of others. And then we lost Jemima. She should be back, hopefully. And then, you know, grief, these things are our way of expelling and expressing these feelings. And so we're fortunate as human beings that we have this dimension, and we're just learning that animals have it as well, and so do plants, right? We're just that.
Yeah, everything, you know.
Everything. Yeah.
Are you familiar with the Lakota idea of all my relations?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like such a more beautiful way of looking at the world.
Absolutely.
Like when you see like the trees in the forest as like a part of your own body almost, you know what I mean? Or like the other end, it's like you wouldn't cut off your own arm, you know what I mean? But we don't look at it that way.
Right.
We feel so like isolated from it, you know? And that's really the source of isolation that I think that a lot of people in our culture feel, you know, and they can't, it's like we've been trained that like, oh, you're going to be happy when you have a house and a car and a TV and all these material possessions and all these things. And it's never enough. It never satisfies that thing. And what we're looking for is that connection, you know, but we just don't know until we know.
Right. That's right. That's really true. That's really, really true.
Still we don't know.
Yeah. And then there's another level to the knowing that comes up.
Yeah. Well, and it just keeps going, I think, you know, as you go deeper into the mystery. But the answer is always elusive. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm still questing for something, but it's just always like just out of reach. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm hoping that I still have you guys on here. There we are. There's Jemima. She's back. And there's Jason. Yeah. I mean, I think it feels like it's out of reach, but I feel like on your cellular level, it's there. You know, you connect to it at moments and on your cellular level, you know, on your subconscious level and on your, when you do your ayahuasca ceremony, it gives you the opportunity to connect to that knowing, maybe.
Yeah, it definitely gives you an opportunity to connect. But sometimes when you're connected, it's not like what you thought it was going to be. You know, like there's a place that the medicine takes me pretty often where I feel like I'm just in the center. And I can just feel everything so acutely. I can feel all the suffering and I can feel all the joy, and it's just almost unbearable, you know, but it is bearable. And that's another big lesson, is the medicine's taught me that I can endure almost anything. And that, I mean, after you go through some of these experiences, like there's really not anything that can hurt you anymore, because you know that you have this kind of strength.
Right. Wow, that's really amazing. That's a really amazing.
Jason, can I ask a question? With your heroin addiction and with the use of ayahuasca, how does that go hand in hand?
Back?
Yeah, she's back.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I'm not sure.
So humility and gratitude, those are the things, you know. And I don't know, I'm just really grateful.
Yeah, Jemima was just asking you a question about your heroin addiction. Jemima, what were you asking him about it? Can you hear her?
I can't hear Jemima.
I was just asking how.
Jemima.
Can you relay me to us then?
Yeah, you want to type it in? Yeah, type it into the chat, and then I will tell.
No, I type really bad, so have to. Yeah, I'm really bad typing. So I just wondered, how does the heroin addiction and the ayahuasca session work with each other? Like, how has it helped you heal, or has it helped you keep? Someone asked you, like, how does that help you with your heroin addiction?
We lost him. We lost Jason completely. So he's okay. Jason has gone into the Ethernet.
Oh, there he goes. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. But I do want to.
This is so annoying, but this is authentic. 100% authentic. I know, bummer, guys. I know. Isn't that fabulous? We all feel that.
Jemima,
damn.
Jemima, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you text Jason that I pulled a card for him? And I pulled a card for him, and it's the bee.
Yeah.
And the bee says, spread heart healing with joy.
Spread heart healing with joy. I'm just typing in now. Oh, that's so people, you cannot make this stuff up. Wow. That is perfect.
So this is
that is perfect.
I pulled this for him while he was talking. And can I read it? And maybe Jason can
please.
later.
Hang on, he's writing back. So just give me 1 second. I pulled the card for a card called the bee for you. He says I'm frozen. No, you know you're frozen, girl, little one. Bless him. Yeah, he's we're moving on. Okay, so yeah, please read it. And if he comes back in, guys, awesome. If not, he's frozen somewhere.
Okay, so here I have another synchronicity. So this is for Jason. This is fantastic. So this morning, you know, I go out early with the dogs before the sun comes up. And I looked up at the stars in the sky, and I'm like, wow, I can really see them because the moon is down. The moon was really bright last night. Oh, I can really see a lot of stars this morning. Wow, this is fantastic. Look, there's the Pleiades, I said to myself and my dogs. I said to my dogs, there's the Pleiades. Haven't seen the Pleiades that bright in ages. Wow, check it out. There's the Pleiades right over my house. I'm like, hello, Pleiades, how fun. Oh, and there's the Little Dipper. Okay, wow. I thought to myself, gosh, I haven't thought about the Pleiades in a long time. They are such an interesting story. So anyway, I picked the bee. This is, remember, this is Diana Cooper's Archangel Animal cards. Okay. So talking to Jason about, you know, seeing body, mind, and spirit and integration of animals and plants and everything, I thought these would be great cards for him, right?
Yes.
So spreading heart with joy, right, Jason? Bees are fifth dimensional insects who come from the Pleiades. I love
Gary. Universe, people, you see the magic. You see this magic. I love it. I just love it. It's just, okay. Can't make it up.
Cannot make that up. I think that's fantastic. The wondrous plane of heart healing. Their service work is to be pollinators for Earth, and so they are instrumental in the survival of our planet. Man, this is exactly what Jason's talking about.
I'm just texting guys saying.
They travel enormous distances to collect nectar to make honey. And wherever they go, they happily pour healing into the land, animals, and people. And, you know, if you want to look at that as a metaphor, he's traveled so far, right? Enormous distances within himself to find his truth and to heal himself. And he's collected from his experiences, and now he's sharing that just like honey with those who maybe could not find that sweetness of life themselves. So beautiful. Angels use the vibration of their humming sound to communicate love to those in the vicinity. Beehives are built according to sacred geometry, and angels always sing over them to hold the frequency high. Fairies and other elementals gather around the hives to bathe in this angelic light. Pixies, who are also earth elementals, lead bees to flowers to ensure that they pollinate as many as they can. Their sole mission is to teach about sacred geometry and to spread Pleiadian heart healing. Guidance. The bee reminds you to do everything with joy. When you serve others and the planet with your heart open, like he was talking about just now, with his heart open, an alchemical change, can't say anything with these things in my teeth, takes place both in the giver and the receiver. You become one and thus spread oneness throughout the universe. Solidarity, and togetherness grow in the consciousness of the world. So let your actions be purposeful and allow the higher purpose to work through you and guide you. Then your life flows and the highest good always unfolds for you. The bees also guide you to remember the power and light conferred by the use of sacred geometry. Use its principles in your home and workplace, and the angels will sing over you, bringing light and peace. So, Jemima, thank you for bringing Jason in today and
pleasure.
having him share that. And I'm going to take a screenshot of this, send it to you, and you can send it to him so he can read it too, because I think that's pretty profound with what he was talking about. And I wish all the best to him.
9 a.m. Sundays.
I can't get you. So okay, so I'm just gonna sign off and say goodbye, and because we just lost everybody. I just lost Jemima, just lost Jason, and it's just me reading my little card. And Jemima, I love you. Jason, I'm so grateful to have met you. And peace out, everybody. And Jemima will.
Love you.
Thanks, thanks, Jemima.
Thank you, my love. Thank you for carrying on when we were off, but thank you, everyone. Yeah, we'll leave it there today just because it's suffering with the internet access. Thank you, Darcy. You're amazing. I love you.
I love you too. Bye.
Peace out. Bye-bye. What a bummer. Thank you, Darcy. Are you still there? No, I don't